So you have a small business, you're doing pretty well, you have a great product or service, but you're wondering, how do you get people to find you? How do you get more customers? How do you get more business? Well, this all comes from what's called digital marketing. And you probably heard of this, and this is kind of a digital marketing 101 or a website 101 for newbies. If you have a company, even if you have a website, social media presence, you may not be getting a large volume of inquiries or even sales from that website. Well, why not? Well, a website is more than just set it and forget it, right? You have to have a web presence, but also get traffic to the website. It's kind of like if you have a lemonade stand in the middle of the Sahara Desert. If nobody knows about it, you're not going to sell any lemonade. You have to get people to your website. The website being on the internet is invisible to anybody unless they can see it. Well, how do you do that? Well, there's 3 ways that you can get traffic to your website. You can do paid marketing, paid search, you can do content marketing, and you can do event-based marketing. We're going to talk about all 3 and how to accomplish each one of them and which has the best return on investment. Some of them have no investment of money, but you have to spend time. Some of them have investment of more money, but little time. So you want to get the best return on that investment of time or money so you can get more business with the least amount of your expenditure. Let's talk about paid search. You have probably seen things like Google Ads or Facebook marketing where you can pay to have your ad show up on Google search results or on Facebook posts. These are all ways you can pay the platform to display information about your business. And there's ways you can do that, but even if you spend the money, unless you have the ad structured the right way, you're not going to get many people to click on it. Or if they do, it's worse if they click on it and go to your website and don't buy anything because now you paid money for that person to click on your website. The other question is, how many visitors do you need? How many people do you need to come to your website? Well, unfortunately, you need big volumes. A standard metric in the digital marketing arena is a 1% conversion rate. What does that mean? Well, that means for every 100 people that come to your website that are qualified inquiries, you'll get 1 sale. And granted, there's variables. If you're selling, $1 million airplanes, you might have a lower conversion rate. If you're selling $20, matchbooks, you might get a little bit higher. But, for many small businesses with a typical product or service, a 1% conversion rate is actually pretty good. Sometimes you get half a conversion rate or 0.75% conversion rate. So that means you need hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors to your website to have any large volume of transactions. Good example is if you have a website that gets maybe 3,000 or 4,000 visitors a day, you might get 30 or 40 sales per day. That's a healthy business. If you sell something for a few $100s, you end up with $1 million business or $2 million revenue business per year. The important thing is, well, how do you get to hundreds of people or thousands of people per day coming to your website? Well, it's a combination of the 3. You want to do some paid advertising because that's going to get some immediate results. The problem is if you're paying actual dollars to Google Ads or Facebook for thousands of visitors every day, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars a day for marketing, and that may not be worth it in the long run. So you have to do content marketing. What does that mean? Content marketing is when you create free content. It could be videos like this one. It could be blog posts on your website. It could be podcasts. It might be articles that you write, so that when somebody's doing a search for a certain subject, your article or your free information will pop up. Now, it's not a sales pitch. It's not an ad. It's just a free instructional type of resource for somebody to find when they're searching for something. Maybe it's about advice on how to solve a problem. Maybe if you're a plumber, you have a video or an article of how to fix a leaky sink, right? Maybe if you are an auto mechanic, you give somebody advice on how to change their oil, right? These are the kind of things that are good content. Now, be aware that there's lots of people producing content. So you either have to be better than everybody else, which, what are the chances you're going to do that, right? If there's 1,000 other videos, how to change a light bulb, how do you think you're going to be the best change a light bulb video. Other video providers have great lighting and they have editing and all kind of green screens and things that might make their video better. So it's going to be tough to compete to be that number one result. The other option is to do high volume, where if you create 5 or 10 videos a week, 1 or 2 a day, over time you'll accrue 50, 100, 200 videos out there. None of them are going to be a very high volume, funny cat video on YouTube that gets 1 million visitors, but you'll have a lot of videos out there that might get 10 or 15 visitors each or views each. So you have to do it on a consistent basis. Plus, if YouTube sees that you're doing videos every day, every week, a couple times a month, the algorithm will rank your videos higher. Again, don't expect millions of views from just doing videos until you get to that place of having a high profile channel. Same thing with blog posts. You want to put articles on your webpage and do it on a regular basis. How can you do that efficiently? Well, we have some tools you'll see on the link on the bottom at Tech Motor of how to do this efficiently to make it so that you don't have to spend all your day creating content, because it's a full-time job. What about your website itself? Well, you also want to make sure your website gets changed at least once or twice a month. And by changed, I mean at least change some of the wording, change a picture, change a description. Because if Google sees that your website is being evolved, it's being freshened up, even little changes, it'll tell them that you're an ongoing active business. If they see your website stagnant, that only gets updated once a year or once every 2 years, they're going to think you're out of business or you're not really that serious about business. So make sure you update your website. Make sure you have a copyright at the bottom of your website that says the current year. We see many websites that have a copyright that says 2019, right? And it just shows that that website is not current. What are other types of content? Well, you can do podcasts. All you got to do is record a 10-minute podcast, post it on one of the platforms for it to be out there for people to find, and automatically you have some other content that points back to your website. Make sure that every single one of your content pieces has a link to your website. Your video has it on the screen. Your podcast mentions it. Your articles have it on the title page. What about event-based marketing? Well, this is a third type of marketing which is often overlooked. Event-based marketing is something where you do a live event, a webinar, a live video, an interview, something where it's a certain time and date that you say, look, on this date we're going to be talking about, let's say if you're a landscape company, how to make sure your lawn stays green. Attend our webinar, and you put that out there. Maybe you put it on Facebook. Maybe you put it on a local business directory. You may only get 5 people, 6 people. Doesn't have to be a ton, but over time you'll do more of these. Do one a month to start with. Set aside a half an hour every month to do one of these event-based items. Another type of event-based content or event-based marketing is find a large event in your area. Maybe you are an attorney, and what you see is a news event that is a company that's out there ripping people off, right? And you look at the journalist who wrote the article and say, look, my name is Sally Smith. I'm an attorney in the area. I saw you wrote a great article about this, this company that rips people off. We deal with this all the time. I'd love to give you some insight into the legal side of that. So if you do a follow-up article, it'll, you can put some content in it. And hopefully what you want to do is get that journalist to reach out to you and quote you in the article that says, look, this attorney said that if you get ripped off, what you should do is this. It's not a sales pitch. You're not trying to sell your legal services, because if you do, the journalist is not going to quote you, right? They don't want to put, sales pitches in their article, but they do want to reach out and get quotes from credentialed, licensed, active people that can help add context to their articles. So follow the news to see what are big events that you can insert yourself into that news cycle. And the last type of event based is if there's something local happening in your area. Maybe it's a 5K run, maybe it's a championship baseball game or something. There's very often very inexpensive support or advertising. Sometimes it's sponsorships of a local event that will get your name in front of people. And you don't even have to have your ad. Just have your company name, your domain name, something that catches people's eye that will get them to find out more about you. That's a pretty inexpensive way. Combining all three of those marketing types will get you a complement of new business over time. It takes a while to ramp this up. The more time and effort you spend on it, the more you'll get back from it. But if you just sit around waiting for people to come through the door, you might see tumbleweeds, because there's a lot of money out there to be spent, but people don't know where to spend it until you tell them why you are the value proposition, why you are the place that can help them solve their problem. They have to find that out somehow, and your marketing does that. Everything starts with marketing. You can't even start doing selling until you do marketing. You've heard the phrase sales and marketing department. It should be the other way around. It should be marketing and sales department, because you don't have a person in front of you to try to sell until you've done marketing to get them to inquire to you. So start with the marketing side, paid search, content marketing, event marketing. There's some more details on things you can do on our website, Tech Motor. You got to start with marketing, and you can do it all yourself. You don't have to pay anybody to do this. All these things you can do yourself. The Google advertising you can do. You can even make your own website. There's tools now that make it very easy to make your own website. There's a lot of guidance and instructions you can get that will make it easier, but use marketing to your advantage to grow your business, because most people don't. Most people are very good at what they do. You're a great plumber, you're a great landscaper, you're a great attorney, but working in your business doesn't do anything to work on your business to grow it. So you have to dedicate some time and attention to that effort. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can do it pretty cheap, but make sure you're always chipping away little by little, because even that little bit is more than what most people do, and it'll put you ahead of the competition. So best of luck with your marketing, and best of luck with success in growing your business.